What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming, episode 22. Today is April 10th already? Shit. All right.
I know. It's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy. So, being April 10th, Force Inept is actually on his way to Chicago for Star Wars something or other. Celebration. That's what I said. Totally what I said. So, in the meantime, I am Mike at Srej.
I'm Deion at Super Nerd Fresh.
And we are going to be your hosts today for the news. Before we get started, there's the whole rigmarole that we normally go through, which is... make sure you guys check us out on Patreon, CastBox, Discord, YouTube, and Build a PC. Oh, I shouldn't have read that one. All right. Anyway.
Watch us at Build a PC.
Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride tonight, guys. So hold on to your butts. Let's get started with the news. All right, and we're back. I apologize ahead of time for the choppy video. My webcam hates me, and I can't figure out what is going on.
Just pretend it's like 1998, chat, okay?
Yes.
You just have to deal with us for now.
Blink your eyes really quickly up and down, and it'll be closer to what it should look like. Okay, kicking off in traditional slightly salted fashion, we've got Fallout.
Of course.
So this one is a little surprising to me, and well, I shouldn't say surprising. You know what? It is surprising. So it appears after all of the discussion about never going pay to win, Fallout guaranteed that would never actually happen. They will now be releasing repair kits.
What up, Lampy?
What up, Lampy? Thank you for joining the stream. Repair kits are kits that you can use to repair your items that can only be bought in the Atomic Shop using, what do they use, bottle caps? Or whatever their atomic currency is. This is a complete 180 from what Bethesda had originally said, which is they're never going pay to win. That'll never be a thing. And while this isn't directly like buy a massive item and beat the game, it's I don't know, I feel like it's a bit of a slap in the face. They're definitely going to start leeching currency from people. What do you think?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. It's borderline territorial into stepping into that market, right? Like they were very adamant that it would only be cosmetic stuff, and now you're like kind of putting your foot on the line there a little bit and trying to see how much you can kind of get away with, and this is just a stepping stone. I don't know if this is more because, I mean, part of it's always due to the fact that, you know, as Lampy just said, 76 is pretty trash, and they invested a ton into this game. They're clearly not making that money back, right? And so I don't know if this is just some type of leveraging point to kind of, you know, see what little income can they make to make the deficit a little bit smaller. But I don't like this personally because, you know, if you get on stage, you're at E3 and you're very adamant to saying like this is not, you know, we are going to just have, you know, customization and clothes and stuff like that, but that's it. You're now starting to alter that.
Yep, this is a gateway drug to buying bigger and better machinery. So we'll see. I feel like they're putting the nails in their own coffin here. They're really screwing themselves.
I agreed with what you said, Lampy. They're trying to make up all the money they lost out with the trash game. Yeah,
I totally I get that, but as far as I'm concerned, like there's much bigger debt to pay down, which is the debt in what they owe to the players. And you should stick to your word, and you should worry about paying down that debt than making the money, because their reputation is at stake at this point. They're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, it's your brand, right? I mean, and if you're Bethesda and you have all these games to come, you really need to protect that, and you need to protect your fans. So trying to slide into stuff like this just really it really leaves a bad taste in gamers' mouths.
Absolutely agree. Speaking of bad taste in your mouth, I'm no John, but I'll get there. Fortnite is back in the news. So they're doing their damnedest to be Apex Legends. With patch 8.20, I guess, Fortnite will be adding respawn bans. So respawn bans will work similar to respawn points in Apex Legends. There are a few differences. You can respawn at the same respawn point multiple times. They're just rather on a cooldown instead of being like one-time use like they are in Apex. And when people come back to life, they actually will have a common pistol along with some ammo. So they're not completely high and dry the same way that you're in Apex. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not surprising to me that Fortnite's going to leverage what everybody else is. Well, not everybody else, really. Apex, right? Which is creeped up on them, and I'm sure they're concerned, and the investors are concerned on Apex stealing their marketplace, and so I'm trying to think if it's kudos to them for trying to think of ways to keep people in, or if it's kind of just like, okay, you're kind of just biting exactly what Apex is doing. Well, what do you think? Do you think it's for the better, or do you think like that's just kind of copying over?
I think that there's something to be said about adjusting to stay relevant in the market. However, Fortnite got its start by ripping off PUBG. And so I feel like this is just another instance where they're just trying to take creative ideas from other companies and run with it. I feel like we put Epic a bit on a high horse here at the Slightly Salted Squad, and I think that they've done some big things. However, I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel a little turned by some of this stuff. There was all the lawsuits late last year for all the dances that they ripped off, and they didn't. Yeah. They tried their damnedest to try to keep it out of court. They didn't pull down most of those dances even off of the game, and the whole thing obviously in the beginning with PUBG, and now this kind of stuff. They actually added like squad drops and stuff too after Apex, didn't they?
I knew that was talked about. Me, I don't play Fortnite, so I really don't.
Yeah.
Know, but
so I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's not I don't know, not boding well for me.
Yeah, agreed. I know that they're trying to ride that cash cow as long as they can. But so I know they're trying to do whatever it takes to keep it going, right? They don't want, remember when Minecraft was probably one of the biggest games at its time, and it lasted a long time, and people still play Minecraft, but like it essentially is dimmered down a lot. And I know they're scared, and I know they're trying to keep it going as long as they can. So I feel like they're probably going to continue to bite into other things even if something else after Apex comes out, they'll probably start to bite some of that too until battle royale games become a thing of like the equivalent of playing like a zombie game, like World War II zombie game.
Sure.
Once it gets to that level, then I don't know what happened, but I agree with you. I try to give Epic credit for building something to the degree that it has, in the diversity and the amount of gamers that they have for this game is still insane. So I give them credit there, but I don't know, it just doesn't always feel like authentic, pure, development. It just still feels a little like, shady on the side.
Yeah, I think the reason they have such a wide fan base is because they do everything. Fortnite has everything instead of being really good at some stuff. And I think that'll end up being their downfall. They've captured a large part of the market with younger kids, with the way that things are animated and the ease of play and the fact that I can join a game and just ride around on a snowboard. Sweet. There's a market for that, and they've captured that. But I don't know. This is not a sustainable model as far as I can tell.
Agreed.
Moving on. This one I actually think is really cool. So, Ubisoft, evidently, seems to have teased the next Assassin's Creed game in The Division 2. You want to talk about this one, Deion?
Yeah. So what they did is, and it's actually pretty cool. And let me back up. Ubisoft is known for doing this. They've put things in like Watch Dogs and different games to tease, Assassin's Creed and any of their games. So they're totally known for doing this. And in this one, they actually kind of revealed this poster, just up there. But it has a lot of things that allude to like a Vikings version of Assassin's Creed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things there obviously references Valhalla. The clothes that the person is in is the white and red, right? Kind of what the staple is for an assassin. And that person's also holding what appears to be the piece of Eden. And they give a little backstory on that. And I'm probably going to butcher this a little bit, but I played most of the Assassin's Creed games. And the piece of Eden's like this lore overall that kind of like people of great power have had this this device or multiple devices that have like put people in greater power. So Valhalla might be a thing of, it usually goes into folklore, whether that's like Gandhi having a piece of Eden. They put JFK Center in there, but there's a back lore to the someone having the piece of Eden is how JFK got shot, in the Assassin's Creed universe. So it's like pretty much all these people of power have had or been a part of some piece of Eden. And so that's kind of a big thing, and it's been since the original Assassin's Creed. So that's a nod there. Kotaku released something saying that that it's been in the works, and it is called or it's codenamed Kingdom is what they've been calling it. Scheduled for a 2020 release. So it's Kotaku reported that portion of it, but really cool to see that. I mean, what do you think about having a Assassin's Viking game?
I think, honestly, that would be a lot of fun. I tend to think of Vikings as these big barbarian oafs that wield a battle axe and like can chop a barrel in half, but they're not necessarily the climb up buildings and swing from the rafters kind of guys. So it'll be interesting how it plays, because I didn't really think that of pirates either yet. Assassin's Creed 4, it felt natural to play as Edward as he climbed around. So, yeah, I think that's really interesting. I also like that it's not dropping like this summer. I like that they've slowed down and they're taking time in between games, and we seem to be getting better quality games. Origin and Odyssey have been two of my favorites in a very long time. And so I think they've kind of hit their stride. That's really exciting.
Yeah, agreed. It'll be interesting, right? I mean, like the sea travel is obviously the epitome for Vikings. So they've done a lot with Odyssey and Black Flag on naval combat, if you will. So I'm curious to see what they'll do there, because that might be really exciting. It is interesting though, because Assassin's Creed games typically are built around tight, smaller cities, so you can run and jump across buildings and stuff like that. I'm curious to see if they continue that, or if they do a different dynamic and make land a little bit bigger. Are they gonna more things in the woods? Like, I'm curious on what they do there.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see. Okay, moving on to Xbox. This one's funny because I think one of us mentioned this, I think last news segment, that it'd be cool if they did it, but it looks like Microsoft is actually going to be combining their Xbox Gold and Xbox Game Pass excuse me, into a single monthly charge. So instead of paying $10 for Xbox Gold a month and $10 for Game Pass a month, you can now pay $15 a month and get both of them. This, I think, is going to be perfect for the Xbox discless. What is it? I
can't remember what the name's going to be called. But yeah, agreed. I think that's the direction they're trying to go, right? Like, I'm going to offer you these games and everything to entice you to, like, hey, you don't need a disc tray. I think that's that would tempt me. I've had Game Pass on and off before, depending on the games on there. I would definitely utilize it more if I just wasn't buying my own games and buying the newest games. For that costs for $15 a month to have all of the Xbox Live features that can potentially go to the Switch and get a multitude of games. It's really not a bad deal at all. So
yeah. Plus, your Game Pass games work on your PC, which is cool, or at least most of them do. You have the
most of them do
the crossplay, so that is pretty huge.
Sea of Thieves was the first one that I did like that, and not only did the game perform well, but the party chat system worked well too. Like they were on a friend of mine was on Xbox Live on the party chat, and I was on my PC, and it sounded great. Everything sounded fine. I didn't have to do any extra tweaks to my setup for my headset or anything like that. So it actually functions really well.
I've actually played. Yeah, I played a few times with Steve Nedley, our #1 bit subscriber. We've played online. He on Xbox and myself on PC, and it works really, really well. Very, very cool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't own an Xbox, but between the discless version and this kind of stuff, plus the support for the Switch, I'm really thinking it might be time. I love my PlayStation, but it might be time to pick one up.
Yeah, the biggest thing, and we've talked about this, right? If it would be almost a no-brainer. I mean, I have one just because that's kind of I was on more of an Xbox train, and then because I just had more friends that had Xboxes, more friends that had PlayStation. But it would be a no-brainer if their game selection and their new release games were on the level of PlayStation's, right? With what PlayStation's come out with in the last year. If they can get to that level this year, if we could see some great exclusive games from E3 or their own Microsoft press conferences, then I think that'd be like a done deal. The one thing is, I do agree. Forrest and John, he just picked up an Xbox recently, mainly for the Blu-ray feature of it. He had Forza. It came with Forza, which is cool. But there's just not that many exclusives that bring you in.
Yeah. I'm curious if this subscription combination is a precursor to what they're going to reveal at E3, or what we all suspect they're going to reveal at E3 with their online streaming service.
Yeah, potentially. That'd be cool. What friends identify these friends? Yeah, okay. One of those friends is JD Lampy. Shout out to Lampy. Ooh. He's my main Xbox buddy. So if these my toes, you can suck it, bro.
Yep.
You can suck those toes.
You can. Some people pay extra for that. All right. Moving on. In PlayStation news, it is finally here. Sony finally allows you to change your PSN online ID. This has never really been a problem for me. I've had the same username since 2004, 2005. Started with World of Warcraft. And I just never let it go. And so most of everything I have this username. For those of you guys who weren't able to get usernames that you really like, starting today, I think it's tomorrow in Europe, you can change your PlayStation ID name. The first change is free. So out the gate, everybody gets one. Basically Spider-Man up in this bitch.
Right.
After that, if you are a PlayStation Plus member, it's $5 to change your ID. And if you're not a PlayStation Plus member, it's $10 to change your ID, which I think is an interesting use of PlayStation Plus membership. So,
yeah.
Something that really surprises me, though, officially, only games released for the first time after April 1st, 2018 have been designed to support ID changes. So there's no guarantee that all of your games are going to work. In fact,
that's what scares me, man.
It is. Just Dance 2017 and Little Big Planet have critical issues that break the experience if you change your name. Which seems weird. It seems like such a silly thing to do. Like a trivial thing to do, that to have critical issues in Little Big Planet, how? I don't know. I don't know.
I also saw a list of minor issues for Last of Us Remastered and Grand Theft Auto 5, where settings restoring to default on your PlayStation, or old PSN IDs appearing visible while you're playing. It's just Yeah, I don't know why it's such a cluster to make this change, but
Hmm.
the part of me that and I can dwell on that, like you've been able to do that for everybody else for so long now, including
Right.
Xbox, same thing. But I'm glad it's here and going forward now, and when PS5 happens, like we won't have these type of issues anymore. So I'm glad they finally caught up to current times, man.
Yeah. If any of you guys have a PS3 or a PS Vita, those games don't actually support the name change feature at all. So something to keep in mind.
Mm.
Speaking of PS5, though, looks like patent services surfaces new plans for Sony VR console powerhouse.
Yeah, so I can talk about this one a little
Yeah.
bit. Essentially, on April 4th, there was a new patent, or a patent was filed for a VR headset for Sony. So obviously, the rumors are going to lead to, well, it's most likely for the PlayStation 5 as far as a new portion of VR.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, the main thing just seemed to be some type of accompanying some part of wireless, right? Which is something that we've kind of seen in the VR um, world as far as that starting to flourish a lot more. None of us want to deal with the amount of crazy wires. Um, but I don't know, looking through the actual patents, nothing seemed actually that different than what we currently have with PSVR.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it looks like it's
but
just wireless to their receiver.
right.
And their sensor bar, instead of using the camera, it looks almost like a Kinect with the multiple
Yeah, that's true. It does look like
dots.
the two dots.
Hmm.
So, and I'm sure there's probably like, it says, yeah, also describes a new graphical rendering technique known as foveating rendering. Pronouncing that right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense to see them upgrade with some new tech. I'm actually surprised that you are that they're able to. Well, we don't know what the cost is, right? So I'm saying that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's usually really expensive to support wireless functionality in terms of a VR headset. So if they're able to do that, as we know, PSVR isn't that unrealistic. It's pretty affordable. Probably
Mm-hmm.
one of the better affordable VRs that you can get. So if they can pull that off with wireless, I mean I'd probably be interested in that as well.
Yeah. Oh, I know we talked about that a little bit last week with some of the new
Mm-hmm.
VR headsets that are coming out.
Right.
I think Sony specifically is in a pretty unique position because most of those, the same way with their consoles, most of the money they're going to make is off of the peripherals. You know, it's going to be your extra controllers, it's going to be your games. So they can take a loss on the VR if they're going to sell an extra 5 or 6 games per person.
Yeah.
So
Fair point. Fair point. And it seems like, I don't know, at least coming out the gate, PlayStation has done a good job at retaining their own VR games too, right? There's a lot of times, oh, my light just went off. A lot of the times, it's pissed me off that I couldn't get a game, like because PlayStation had ownership to it. I'm just like, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Speaking of VR, boom, Nintendo Labo. So Nintendo Labo's VR kit, they announced this pretty recently. They're actually going to have support for Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, which I think is pretty slick. I don't know. I wasn't like super excited about it, but I think playing Breath of the Wild in VR would be pretty legit.
yeah, so it's interesting because for Odyssey, it's kind of you're getting like this bonus mode, like mini mission type of thing. But for Breath of the Wild, it appears that it's a bit like playable almost entirely, except for like cutscenes and stuff. So now, playable.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it'd be interesting just to see how that ends up working and plays out. That's a long game to be playing VR with, but at the same time, if it actually works well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a really long game, and like we saw with Resident Evil, if the motion isn't quite right, I think people would get really sick.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Have you done anything with like, so I haven't gotten a Labo or anything. I know John has. even though I think it's still probably in a box and he hasn't done shit with it.
Yup.
What do you think about this? Do you plan on picking this up at all when it comes out? Do you have any interest in it?
I've always thought the Labo stuff is pretty cool. I have a hard time spending $100 on a cardboard box. I'm more of a build it yourself kind of guy. However, I think this would be a lot of fun. I think playing VR, Legend of Zelda obviously would be fantastic, but also giving an opportunity for my daughter who's 4 to play some of the games that she really enjoys on the Switch in VR, and get her hooked on that stuff. I think that is pretty cool. Even more so than like letting her play with my Vive and get wrapped up in the cables and fall down and tear it off the wall and all that stuff. So
right. Yeah, that's a good point, and probably more. I'm into games or companies that will try to push VR more. And so if this is a leverage point for families and other people who may not get where a Vive is too technical for them, or even a PSVR may be too much for them to kind of step into the VR world with this, I'm all about, adding a new audience so that way more people are interested in VR. I want more VR games at the end of the day. I really do.
Absolutely. I think I was a bit disappointed when 3D didn't take off the way that I thought it would. I remember playing Batman Arkham City, I think, with Active Shutter 3D. Super, super cool experience. And it didn't really take off. So I'm hoping that VR takes off in a big way to kind of compensate for that.
Yeah, agreed.
Excellent. All right. So I think that's all we got for news. Delightful deals of the week. So Call of Duty Blackout is free all month. I know it's on PS4. Is it also free for PC?
I do not know the answer to that, but I could probably look it up.
Let us Google that for you.
Let us Google that for you. April. Yep. PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One.
Oh, excellent. So if you guys haven't played it yet, pick it up. It was pretty fun. We started playing that right before Apex Legends came out.
Yeah,
it was all right.
A little bit. Lampy is lolling right now at Call of Duty. Yeah, I get it. They're trying to, a little bit like Fortnite, right? They built this out, except, the Blackout did really well. They just got trumped by Apex, and so they're just trying to get people back into it. I think that when it comes to like Royale games in general, unless they're like vastly different, it's really just hard to have it's hard to have a PUBG and a Blackout and a Battlefield Firestorm and Apex and Fortnite live in the same area, right?
Yep.
So it's cool. It's good. So if you haven't had a chance to play it, it's free. So go for it. Play a couple rounds, see if you like it. But I don't think you're missing on a ton. It does do it really well. I just think that Apex does it better.
Yeah, it's similar to how Titanfall veterans really enjoyed Apex Legends because it feels, very good in that universe. I imagine people have similar feelings who play Call of Duty playing the Blackout. Like you just feel like you're in your element.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So if you're a Call of Duty head, and I think it fits right at home. It's interesting though. It makes me think about these Royale games too. Obviously, the two being Apex and Fortnite have leveraged this whole system of being free. Free games with just downloadable, cosmetics and loot boxes and stuff like that. But the games that we've paid for haven't seemed to do that well, right? Battlefield being its own thing, Call of Duty trying to add it on. I wonder if that's just a model that's too difficult for them to compete against.
I think you're naturally going to have a bigger audience, and so you can't beat free, right? And so while maybe 1 million players will pay $50 to play your game, Apex pulled 25 million in the first week for nothing, just because people downloaded to see. And then you're going to capture all of those people that were already going to pay for it, but you're going to capture a whole lot of other people that weren't intending to pay for it. But now that they played it, they want to continue.
Yeah. And then a lot of us, I think, and we share the same mindset, I think, Mike, too. It's like, and if you're enjoying that game and it's free, then yeah, then I'll contribute to the game. You know what I mean? I haven't paid anything for that. So,
right.
You know, we've done that with that quite a bit. And I think it works. It's a working model for sure.
It absolutely is. It is. And it can be frustrating at times going through the loot boxes and trying to find the one item you want. But at the end of the day, I could pay you $5 today and then $5 tomorrow and $5 the next day. And it, I'm still contributing, but I'm also not breaking the bank. I pay what I want, which is pretty cool. Next deal, Borderlands UHD pack is now available. I know for Borderlands 2, was there something for Borderlands 1 as well?
I don't know.
I feel like I didn't research any of these. I'm real embarrassed.
Color me embarrassed.
Yeah, this part is this is John's part. Yeah, I think it's just for Borderlands 2.
Announced the Ultra HD texture packs for Borderlands: The Handsome Collection, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and Borderlands 2. So it's everything.
Wow. Neat. Excellent. Okay. Next, Epic Store free games. The Witness is available now until the 18th. The Witness was also the PlayStation Plus game last month, I think, or the month before. It's a lot of fun. It's a puzzle type game, a bit of a thinker, but check it out. It's free. It's actually pretty cool. And then Transistor goes on sale It's free from April 18th to May 2nd on the Epic Store. So give us a download, especially if you hate Epic. Get your games for free.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. What are you playing, Deion?
Yeah, it's been a lighter week for games for me. Mainly Transistor's God Tier Tales. Yeah, I was going to mention that too. That's one that I haven't picked up, and I know it did really well. And got really great reviews. So that's one I'm probably going to pick up. I'll grab the other game as well. But I like puzzle games make me feel stupid, so I just ignore it. But I did see streams on it's called The Witness, right?
Yep, The Witness.
Yeah, I've seen some streams on that. Oh, it's really good. But yeah, I am gonna pick up Transistor. GameStop spring sale 4.7 to 4.20.
Yeah,
interesting. And that might be a permanent sale coming up.
Yeah, I've become less and less a GameStop fan as time goes on. But
you and every and their financial reports show that.
Right.
So.
But free games are free games and cheap games are cheap games. So check it out. There's actually some pretty good stuff on here. Borderlands for the PS4, the Handsome Collection, $15, which is pretty cool. Okay. They got Grand Theft Auto 5 for $15. Some console stuff. Xbox One X, $400. So
that's always a good. That's probably the thing I'd probably look at most with GameStop and stuff like that now. Like, you can find yourself a good console deal if you haven't picked a console up yet or been looking to get one, but you've been waiting for a good deal. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. Maybe there's a couple things I can snag on there.
Yep. We got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for free because we participated in Google Stream, but if you haven't picked it up yet, it's $20 right now. Normally $60.
That's
really
a good
one.
buy.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that one.
Yep. So
But yeah, consoles. Don't act like you're above the console life. I know you've played a console a long time in your life, Lampy.
Yeah, aren't you his Xbox buddy? I'm pretty sure you're his
you're
Xbox
my
buddy.
Xbox buddy, okay?
What the hell are you doing over here, Lampy? Get your shit together. Resident Evil 2 is actually on sale right now too for $40, down from $60. So
wow, that's surprising.
Yeah,
that game has been on that long.
Yeah,
cool.
Buy all their stock so they can't sell anything else.
True that. But in terms of games, what I've been playing, mainly Division 2, gone up a couple levels, played a little bit last night. Got to level 20. I know we got to level you up, Shredge, and get you going. Doesn't take long to level up, honestly. I'm trying to get to 30 because that's where the good stuff happens, apparently. in terms of that. So that's honestly been the biggest game I've been playing. I really want to play Overwatch. I brought that up like the last like 3 weeks. Apex is fun, don't get me wrong, but Apex will also put me in a mood if like we just die the next 10 matches in a row and don't get a W. Playing Overwatch is more cooperative. We have more, teamwork and talking through things and getting victories and that type of stuff.
Yeah, you don't really have that underdog moment in Apex the way you do when you're down and suddenly you like hold the line when you're at 99% and you take it all the way over. Like that stuff's a lot of fun. Also, what up, Other Lampy?
Yeah, fun fact, Other Lampy technically is the original Lampy. That Lampy's older than JD Lampy. So, what up, Lampy? What up to all the Lampies out there?
Yes. To all you Lampies.
Ridiculous. What about you, Mike? What are you playing?
So playing a little bit of Apex Legends, not a whole lot. I did actually play some Division 2 this weekend. I think I'm still level 4 or 5, so I didn't get a whole lot in, but I did play for a couple of hours. That's a lot of fun. I would really look forward to playing some more of that. Took a break from Sekiro for the most part of this week. Until Tales of Nerdia told me that... So I'm stuck on Lady Butterfly. Lady Butterfly is a bitch. She is so hard. She's super aggressive. And at one point, I ran in there and she like attacked, and I died. And I didn't get to do anything. And I just threw my controller. I was like, fuck this game. I hate this game. I'm not doing it anymore. Evidently, you can like teleport out of there. I can go back and fight the ogre, which I got stuck on 3 weeks ago when I came over to this whole branch to get this freaking flamethrower thing. I can actually go down that path, level up, get stronger.
And then come back.
Right, yeah. So I think I'm going to be doing that. Later this week with the Platinum Grind. And you guys can watch me rage on the ogre for a little while.
Nice. I knew you planned on doing some of The Walking Dead for Platinum Grind as well too, right?
Yes. So I did pick up the final chapter of The Walking Dead. If you guys have not played the Telltale's Walking Dead story, it is fantastic. Last chapter was finally finished. I do want to stream that one. There'll probably be some pretty heavy spoilers because it's the last chapter. So I don't know what happens. All I know is that, quote, Clementine's story will come to an end. Whether that means she dies or she finds redemption, I have no idea. You guys are welcome to watch me play it. Just if you haven't played some of the other ones, I would suggest go back before watching this because it's really, really good.
You're going to get spoiled and it's a good storyline.
Yeah, it's a very good storyline.
Cool. So the Lampies are fighting in chat, so stop fighting, Lampies.
I'm gonna tell your mother.
Yeah. I'm gonna Lampies probably gonna play some DayZ. We need to get some DayZ. So this weekend or wow, Lampy. This weekend. We could probably do some DayZ. So hit me up, Lampies. I might stream that. Try to figure that out. There's some DayZ gameplay that I want to do. So, Tales of Nerdia, Ogre should feel like cakewalk now that you had to fight harder bosses. So.
Especially now that I have a weapon that is he's specifically weak against. I imagine I'm gonna run him over. So, damn. Sorry about your mama.
Yeah, I knew that when Stretch said that, but I wasn't gonna call him out. But it feels bad, man.
Bad. I feel like a dick.
Anyway.
All right, I guess that's it. Yeah. So John is out of town. I think he's out on Sunday as well. So squad mode this week will be. Maybe we'll do some Division. Or Overwatch. I'm good for either of those.
I'm down for both of those. Yeah, both have been really fun. Well, I haven't played Overwatch in a while, but Division has been really fun. Surprisingly, I thought it'd be a game that I just would like, okay, John and Mike are on, I'll play this. And now it's like, it's really fun. You're really playing through that. So, if these Mateos are ending on Dead Moms, John needs to come back.
He left
tried.
Us.
He left us, and now we're the kids running around the house without an adult, so we don't know what we're doing.
I lit the carpet on fire. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. So we're hanging in there. I'm sure Forsenup's enjoying Celebration. I told him to get his GoPro, take some footage and stuff like that. He mentioned he might try to do a stream while he's walking around. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but
We'll see.
hope he's enjoying that, and we'll hopefully get some good pics when he comes back. Tales of Nerdy, I'm about to finish MG Plus the endings, then I'll reload a cloud save. Oh, nice.
So I thought about doing that for the platinum because it's at least 4 different playthroughs at like 50 hours total. At the way I'm playing, it'll be about 160 hours. But still those 4 playthroughs. So I'm thinking about doing the reload because you can cut out large chunks. Excuse me. Lampy asks, are they going to drop a Star Wars trailer there? I don't know.
Yeah, Forsenup's doing so the way that they did panels year, it's like a lottery system, and he got into a lot of different ones. I can't remember all of them. I just remember that he's a Mandalorian. So I'm hoping that it would not surprise me that they put out some trailers. What do you think Endgame previews? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing.
Here's my philosophy on Endgame. There's 2 weeks left. Please stop trying to spoil it. Please, I get like 100 posts a day that are like, oh, we think they may have finally revealed this, or we watched this trailer 150 times and we think we found the ending. Stop. It's 2 weeks. I want to enjoy it. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. I haven't even watched the latest trailer. I want to go in. I want to have my mind blown and then go back and watch it again.
Yeah, true that. One last thing, because John will be very upset that I forgot about this, but Star Wars posted this little teaser, literally just like a screenshot of this background image for like Jedi Fallen Order. That is one that they said tune in at a first look for at Saturday, 1:30 p.m. CDT at Star Wars Celebration. So definitely going to be an announcement there when it comes to Jedi Fallen Order. That is Respawn that's making that game, so I'm like super hopeful that it's going to do really well.
Yeah.
So
they've set the bar so high. I really hope they don't fuck this up. All right. I don't think we're doing an after game stream today, right? I've got 8 more MCU movies to finish before Endgame. So tonight I think is Doctor Strange. We just finished up Ant-Man, so making our way through Phase 3. Also, yes, these Matos, Snape does kill Dumbledore, but the reason why may surprise you. Click here, I'll show you how.
that clickbait. There we go.
With that, thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 22 of This Week in Gaming. I've been Mike, and until next time, you guys stay salted. Bye.
Bye, guys.